sixth at second base, number 7, William Wolf. Batting seventh at shortstop, number 13, Brenton Trask. Batting third at first base, batting eighth at third base, number 1, Mason Grodeau. Batting ninth at left field, number 8, Ty Conroy. And the starting pitcher for Norwich this evening, number 15, Elliot Johnson. Please welcome the balance of players and coaches for Norwich Post 4. Here now, the starting lineups for Middletown Post 75. Leading off in right field, number 23, Ryan Quinn. Batting second and catching, number 10, Mike Garofalo. Batting third at first base, number 44, Ryan Michaud. Batting fourth at shortstop, number 3, Colin Loria. Batting fifth, the starting pitcher this evening for Middletown, number 5, Kieran Powers. Batting sixth at second base, number 11, Jack Kanapka. Batting seventh at third base, number 54, Tyler Powell. Batting eighth in center field, number 8, Owen Clancy. Batting ninth in left field, number 4, Alex Mock. Please welcome the balance of players and coaches for Middletown Post 75. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we ask that you rise, remove your caps, and join us as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem.
Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to SportingNewsCT.com's broadcast of the Connecticut American Legion Baseball Tournament. This is round 2. Only 16 teams are left in the state to determine who is the Connecticut State Champion. Tonight's game is between 5th seed in the Northern Regional, Norwich, against Middletown Post 75, who was the 4th seed in the North. Middletown comes into this game with a record of 19-7. They were 15-6-1 in the regular season. Norwich comes in here at 15-8. They were second in the Southern Division of Zone 6. Middletown being second in Zone 3. On the mound tonight for Middletown is Tiernan Powers. Behind the plate, catching the balls and strikes, is Mike Garofalo. Down at first base, Ryan Michaud. Over at second base, Jack Kanapka. And over at shortstop is Colin Loria. Tyler Powell is over there at third base, and roaming left field is Alex Mock. Out in center field with a lot of room to roam here in that 400-foot deep outfield in center field is Owen Clancy. Out in right field is Ryan Quinn. 3 umpires for tonight's game, 1 first, third, and behind the plate. Big ballpark here, as I said, at Palmer Field, actually Bill Pomfret Field at Palmer Stadium. 327 down the left field line, about 380 in the left field gap, 380 in the right field gap, 322 in right field. That's the shortest poke here, but every poke here is a long one. Well, for Norwich, Austin Drabinski will lead it off. You heard the announcements of the batting order by the public address announcer. So this is what's considered the second round of the tournament. Tomorrow, the quarterfinals will get underway. But we move in from the quarterfinals on to two fields that'll be in this Northern Region tournament. It will be at Rotary Field in South Windsor. And down there at SEPA Field in Meriden, they will host the quarters, semis, and they will have the final game of the tournament, the Connecticut State Champion. Well, Drabinski steps into the batter's box now to face Powers. And the first pitch is in there for a strike. Powers actually was the winning pitcher in relief yesterday. So he's pitching just on a short amount yesterday, but enough to be eligible for today. There's a fastball inside, ball one. Count evens at 1-1. Norwich defeated Northeast yesterday by the score of 4-1. That game was played at Norwich. There's the strike, dribbles away from the catcher. It's 1-2. And in that game, the number 3 hitter, Daniel Egler, ended up hitting a walk-off home run in the 6th inning. It was actually called after 6 innings because of darkness. Here's the 1-2 is inside for ball 2. Middletown yesterday defeated Naugatuck here at Palmer Field by the slim score of 2-1. All across Connecticut, there are a number of games going on this evening, and we'll get to those in a moment. There's a foul ball slashed into the netting above the Norwich dugout. Count remains at 2 balls and 2 strikes now. To the leadoff hitter, Austin Drabinski. Kind of a cool, cloudy evening tonight. Lights are not on yet, so they will be shortly, I would imagine. Here's the 2-2. Chopped foul, so we'll do it again. Other games going on in the North Regionals. Tri-County's playing Waterford tonight at Waterford High School. Avon's playing RCP up there in Cromwell High School. Tri-Town is playing Bristol at Muzzy Field. Curveball, ground ball to second base. It's scooped by Konopka, and he snaps it over to first baseman Ryan Vashad for the first out. We broadcasted here on Sporting News CT yesterday that game between Tri-Town and Bristol. Bristol really made a statement yesterday, defeating South Windsor by the score of 9-2.
Pitcher number 18, Riley Burke.
And today they are playing Tri-Town over there at Muzzy Field. Batting from the left side is Riley Burke. And the first pitch to him is in there for a strike. Powers going from the stretch on all pitches. As he said, a cool evening here in Middletown, Connecticut. And here's the 0-1, strike one, right over the plate. Powers comes set, and now deals. The 0-2 is fouled off to the left side into the parking lot here at Palmer Field. Here's the 0-2. If you just joined us, we're in the top of the first inning. 1 out. Riley Burke at the plate. Curveball misses outside. Powers looks in for the sign from Garofalo, or Garofalo, depending on how you pronounce it. And here's the pitch. Just sliced foul into the netting. And this Norwich team, as we said on the season 15-8, they were 14-8 in zone 6. They were 8-3 at home, 6-5 on the road. A little bit of a difference between them. They scored 101 runs this year and gave up 87. The winner of this game will move on to play the winner of Tri-County and Waterford in the quarterfinals tomorrow at Rotary Field. No rest for the weary in this tournament, this single elimination tournament, to determine the Connecticut American Legion State Baseball Champion. That one just missed low as Powers wanted it. The count moves to 2-2. And here's the pitch. Sliced foul. We'll do it again.
We were there when our nation called us to serve. We were there to write the original GI Bill and get it signed into law.
Sorry for that little technical glitch. It's now it's 3-2. To the left-handed hitting Riley Burke. Going solo here up in the press box at Palmer Field, so running a little double duty with these machines here. And there's the pitch, is in there for a called strike 3. Burke didn't like it, but he doesn't get a vote. And with 2 outs, we'll bring up the right fielder, Daniel Egler. Egler, the hero of last night's game. He hit the walk-off home run to allow Norwich to defeat Northeast. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Well, Norwich, we said, defeated Northeast yesterday. A little bit of a fact on that game is Northeast barely had enough. They had 9 guys show up, and they had to move the game a little bit to have the players show up. That's the reason why the game was called after 6 innings, because they started the game a little bit late. Here's the 0-2. Is popped out into the first baseman. What an easy catch that time by the first baseman, Ryan Michaud. That'll do it here in the top of the first for Norwich. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left on base. We'll be right back with Middletown, post 75, coming to bat.
The strength of our country hasn't just been won on the battlefield. It's won every day in our communities when we come together in our toughest times. For over 100 years, the American Legion has been strengthening communities by providing life-saving help and support to our veterans and neighbors during our nation's toughest times.
It's what the Legion's all about.
We are the American Legion, veterans strengthening America. To learn how you can help, visit legion.org.
Well, right back here at Palmer Field, or Bill Pomfret Field at Palmer Stadium. And on the mound tonight for Norwich is Elliot Johnson. Behind the dish, catching the balls in strikes, is going to be Riley Burke. We've met him already. And down there at third base is Mason Bordeaux. Brenton Trask is the shortstop tonight. Second base is William Wolf III. And over at first is Ryan Trudeau. Ty Pomeroy is out there having a catch with a center fielder, Austin Drabinski. And the right fielder, Danny Egler, is out there throwing with his teammate. In foul ground as they're getting ready now, as Middletown sends to the plate Ryan Quinn, the left-handed batter, plays right field. No score, bottom of the first inning. We just got underway here. The game was originally scheduled to be played at 5:30. Then they moved it to 6:30 sometime this afternoon. As Quinn starts to dig in, what a beautiful field this is here at Bill Pomfret Stadium.
Right fielder number 23, Ryan Quinn.
Johnson, his first pitch is in there for a strike. Good way to start a game. Batting from the left side, those high stretch socks with the white stripes around them, Ryan Quinn. Wind up in the pitch is popped up in foul ground. Chasing it is Bordeaux, and he won't be able to get it as it bounces right in front of the concession stand down there at the left field line. Cool weather here tonight, all clouds in the sky. Doesn't look like it's going to rain, but you never know. This is now 0-2 to the leadoff hitter Ryan Quinn. No score, bottom of the first between Norwich, the 5th seed in the North, and Middletown post. There's a chopper up the middle. That'll scoot through for a base hit. So Ryan Quinn is aboard. First batter for Middletown strikes. Now let's see what they do. See how they build their strategy in the game. Stepping up to the batter's box now is Mike Garofalo, the catcher.
The catcher number 10, Mike Garofalo.
And straddling off first base is Quinn. And here's the pitch, slide step, in there for a strike. We said the winner plays Tri-County against Waterford, the winner of that game. So playing at 6:30 up there in Waterford High School. And that game will be played at Rotary Field tomorrow in the quarterfinals. Final game will be broadcast here as well. So we'll have multiple games broadcasted tomorrow. We'll have to just keep a look out at the Connecticut American Legion Baseball website for broadcast times and places. The Connecticut representative is played this morning. I don't have a score on that one yet. Up there in Fitton Field at the College of the Holy Cross. There's a strike. They played the New Hampshire representative this morning. Well, probably started right around noon, so I have to look that one up online. There's a strike. So it's 1-2 now to Garofalo. Slide step curve, chopped down to third. This was fair. Long throw to first, the only play he had, and it's a doozy. And he gets it. Nice play by the third baseman, Mason Bordeaux. But the runner advances to second base. So with one out, that's going to bring up Ryan Michaud. Michaud also hits from the left side. Middletown with their classic white uniforms with royal blue numbers and lettering and stretch socks.
First baseman number 44, Ryan Michaud.
American flag draping proudly out there in center field. There's a bouncer, one hopper to second baseman. His only play is going to be to first. And just gets the runner as the speedy Michaud hustled down the first baseline. That's one thing you like to see. But on the play, Ryan Quinn advanced to third, but more importantly, there's two outs. Brings up Colin Loria, the shortstop. As I said, no real wind to speak of here at Palmer Field yet. Johnson comes set. He kicks and deals. That one just misses low. And there's the ball down low, so it's 2-0 now to the cleanup hitter, Loria. On deck's the pitcher, Tiernan Bowers. Beautiful ballpark here, brand new lights. The infield a couple years ago looks excellent condition. It's 2-1 now to Loria. Norwich with their navy blue shirts, gray pants. The pitch, ground ball to third. Two-hopper, he bobbles it. Will he get him in time? He chucks it to first, he gets him. So a great recovery that time by Mason Bordeaux to end the Middletown threat. For Middletown, in the bottom of the first inning, no runs, one hit. There were no errors, and they left one runner on base. We'll be right back with the top of the second inning. The score now knotted at 0 between Norwich and Middletown.
We were there when our nation called us to serve. We were there to write the original GI Bill and get it signed into law. When a community found itself in the middle of a natural disaster. When tragedy struck at a local school. For veterans who suffered from toxic exposure and needed a voice on Capitol Hill. And we're still serving as part of the American Legion. For more than 100 years, veterans have been strengthening our nation through the American Legion. Through programs that help our nation's youth become tomorrow's leaders. By keeping the spirit of our forefathers alive and well. And by helping veterans receive the benefits they earned through their service. The American Legion will be there for the next 100 years. Learn more about how we're helping in your community at legion.org.
Back here at Palmer Field in Middletown, Connecticut, Norwich and Middletown all knotted up at zeros going into the top of the second inning. For Norwich, they'll send up to the plate their cleanup hitter, Ryan Trudeau. He'll be followed by Jason Wedge, the designated hitter, and William Wolf III, the second baseman. Middletown had threatened. They had a runner in scoring position by the name of Ryan Quinn, but he was stranded at third base on a great play by Colin Loria, the third baseman from Norwich.
Leading off for Norwich, the first baseman, number 11, Ryan Trudeau.
And Trudeau steps in from the right side. First pitch from Powers, in there for a strike. There's the ball high, so it's 1-1 now. Well, the American Legion does a lot of great things for our veterans, as well as for young men here in Connecticut as elsewhere. They not only sponsor baseball, but also some scholarships, as that ball's down low. So in Connecticut, they gave a scholarship to Tyler Jones, and the National American Legion gave a scholarship to Tyler Martin. Ground ball to second baseman, and Konopka has it and gets it over to first for the first out of the inning. And that's going to bring up Jason Wedge. We said the designated hitter. He bats from the right side. All wooden bats here in Connecticut. Different. In the Northeast Regional, where they go back to aluminum, swing and a miss. Not exactly a good swing. That was sort of an excuse me swing that time by Wedge. Here's the 0-1. It's fouled off, so Wedge has a big hole that he dug out for himself. Now it's 0-2 to Wedge. Powers looks in for the sign. Now comes set. The big tall right-hander fires it down low, so it's 1-2. Tiernan Powers rifles one in, strike three, but the ball got away from the catcher. Is hustling down and getting onto first base now is Wedge, so he did strike out, but it was not caught by the catcher. Scored that one a pass ball by the catcher Garfalo. And instead of having the second out, Norwich now has a runner down at first base, and it brings up the left-handed hitting William Wolf III. As that ball rolled all the way to the backstop, no real play by Garofalo to get the runner. Or should I say the batter. Here's the pitch. It's up high for a ball. Powers looks at the runner. Not a very big lead at first, about 2.5 steps. He kicks high and deals. In there for a strike, 1-1, split the plate right in half. Middletown is coached by, Dan Boddy. He's the general manager, rather, as they call it. Here's the 1-1. Inside, ball 2. General managers Kyle Farrell. Assistants for Middletown are also Jacob Alonzo and Nicholas Roy. Powers takes a look at the runner on first. And here's the high kick. And swing and a miss. A throw down to first, and it's blocked. A good block that time by Michaud. That ball almost got away down the right field line. So Garofalo isn't afraid to try to keep those runners close. But he almost threw it away. So the count is 2-2 now to Wolf. Powers with that high kick. He is vulnerable to a steal, but there it is right there in the outside corner of the plate. Third strikeout of the game for Tiernan Powers. And that'll do it here for Norwich in the top of the first. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. We're going to the bottom of the second inning. Score remains Norwich 0, Middletown Post 75 0.
The strength of our country hasn't just been won on the battlefield. It's won every day in our communities when we come together in our toughest times. For over 100 years, the American Legion has been strengthening communities by providing life-saving help and support to our veterans and neighbors during our nation's toughest times.
It's what the Legion's all about.
We are the American Legion, veterans strengthening America. To learn how you can help, visit legion.org.
Check that. They didn't have him as a strikeout on that one. They got another batter up. I thought that was the third out. But it's not. That's right. The second out would have been Wedge. He didn't get out. So that's why I made that mistake. So Brenton Trask is up with 2 outs. Because that's what I thought it was 3 outs, but that's what put Wedge on base in the first place. Ball up high. I'm sure some of the people listening tonight were saying, wait a minute, there's only 2 outs. What's he doing? 2 balls, 1 strike now to Trask. As Middletown trying to erase it. And Trask, there's a foul ball back to the screen, so it counts even. All 2s on the baseball scoreboard out there. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Powers, these are the extra pitches that Powers has to throw as a result of that strikeout that went to the backstop. So it's at least 4 of them here. There's a ball outside, so it's 5 of them. Counts full, runner will be going on the pitch. So here's the payoff pitch to Trask. Runner goes low, ball 4. So Wedge is now on second. Trask's on first. And up comes Mason Bordeaux, the third baseman. Big lead at first base by Trask. The ball up high. So when you think of it, there was a 2-2 pitch there, so that's 5 extra pitches, 6 extra pitches. So the pass ball really is hurting Middletown here. It's forcing Powers to keep on pitching and run up that pitch count, if anything. And also allows Norwich to threaten to score. Here's the pitch. Goes to the backstop. Another pass ball. Now you have runners who are going to be in scoring position. 2 of them as Trask scoots down to second. Wedge gets down to third, so now you can't afford any pass balls. As it's 2-0 now to Mason Bordeaux. So a possible 2 runners could score now on a base hit. Outfield playing basically straight away. They're not playing shallow at all, so a base hit could score 2. Especially Trask seems taking a big lead out there at second base. Here's the pitch. In there for a strike. It's 2-1. Here's the 2-1. In there for a strike 2. Pretty fastball right on the outside of the plate. Bordeaux taking all the way. And here's the 2-2. Chopped foul. It was a fastball up and in on the hands of Bordeaux, but he protected himself and fouled it off. As some fans come all the way up from Norwich to watch this game. Nice little contingent of people. Usual decent crowd of Middletown fans showing up to watch it. This is the Connecticut American Legion State Tournament. There's a slicer foul down the right field line, bouncing into the aluminum stands down the right field area. Don't think that concession stand's open down there. Don't see anybody in the line. 2-2. Again, curveball. He lives in Haddam, Connecticut. There's the ball in the dirt. It's 2-2. There's a 2021 graduate of Xavier. And this team from Middletown, most of their players seem to come from Caucanchog. A couple from Williams. 3 from Xavier, 1, 2, 3 from Middletown. There's another one sliced foul. 5 from Middletown, rather. 5 from Middletown. 7 from Caucanchog. 1 from Capital Prep Magnet School. And there's a pitch up high. So it's now 3-2. This Powers trying to fight his way on. Swing and a miss, strike 3. As Powers goes down swinging. First strikeout of the ball game for Elliott Johnson. It's going to bring up Jack Konopka, the second baseman for Middletown.
Second baseman number 11, Jack Konopka.
Other games going on this evening. Westport's at Madison down there in the town complex. Hamden's at Danbury. There's a fly ball into right center. The right fielder, though, comes over, and he grabs it, does Daniel Egley. So score that one on an F9 if you like to do that kind of thing. As we said, Hamden's at Danbury at Abbott Tech High School. Trumbull's at Pat Wall Field in Wallingford. Newington's at Meriden at Legion Field. And then tomorrow, everything switches to Rotary Field in South Windsor in the north and Seppa Field in Meriden in the south. And there's the first pitch down low to Powell. Powell, the third left-handed batter in this Middletown lineup. And the close stands kind of close and gets a strike on the inside part of the plate. There's a ball outside. Two balls, one strike now. A sliced foul. That one will make the parking lot over here. Glad I parked my car further away. So we're about an hour into this, half an hour into this ball game. And we have no score here at Palmer Field. There's the ball down low. So the count's now 3-2 to Powell with 2 outs, bottom of the second inning. No score. The wind up in the pitch. There's another foul ball sliced. Maximum American Legion pitcher can throw in any one game is 105 pitches. They have varying rest mandates for the lower numbers. Strike 3 called, and it was a great pitch that time by Johnson. Tyler Powell just watched it go by. Second strikeout of the game for Johnson. We're through 2 full innings here at Palmer Field in Middletown. The score remains Norwich 0 and Middletown 0. We'll be right back with more American Legion baseball action here on SportingNewsCT.com.
The strength of our country hasn't just been won on the battlefield. It's won every day in our communities when we come together in our toughest times. For over 100 years, the American Legion has been strengthening communities by providing life-saving help and support to our veterans and neighbors during our nation's toughest times.
It's what the Legion's all about.
We are the American Legion, veterans strengthening America. To learn how you can help, visit legion.org.
When our veterans came home from serving their country, the American Legion helped them with the GI Bill to get a head start. When they came home from Vietnam, we helped those affected by Agent Orange to get care and compensation. Now, a new generation is dealing with their own challenges. Every day, 22 veterans who put their lives on the line for our country came home and took their own. As it has for over 100 years, the American Legion continues to advocate for our veterans, so when they leave service, there's a place for them to go to continue serving and, when needed, to get help.
Well, back here in Palmer Field in Middletown, Connecticut, in the second round of this Connecticut American Legion baseball tournament, we've got a good one. As Norwich and Middletown are scoreless here as we move to the top of the third inning. For Norwich, they're going to send up the 9-1-2 batters. They'll lead off with Ty Pomeroy, the left fielder. And then the lineup will flip over to the top of the order. is. Tiernan Power has been going from the stretch the whole game so far. Kicks and deals. Swing and a miss. Good fastball that time by Powers. Blew it right past Pomeroy. And that one's low, so it's 1-1. In the Northeast Regional this morning, Hamburg, New York beat Newport, Rhode Island 5-1. And Windsor-Locks, well, that's NCL, defeated Portsmouth, New Hampshire 6-0. So the Connecticut team tomorrow will play tomorrow night in the second of the evening doubleheader up there at Fitton Field. Nice to see the Connecticut team with a good shining. There's a ground ball cut off by the third baseman. Over to first for the out. Nice play by Tyler Powell to get to Speedy Conroy. That was the only play they had. If Powell didn't cut that off, that would have been an infield single. The scores up there in the Northeast in the third game.
Center fielder number 6.
Beverly, Maine. Beverly, Massachusetts now. Beverly, Massachusetts blew out Old Town, Maine 12-0 up there. As everyone's popped up in foul ground. Circling around, it's Machad, and he makes the catch. Great play by Orion Machad down there in the warning track in front of the fence. And the game going on now in that Northeast. There's the fourth game of the day. It's going on now. Between, let me see who it is. No, they're not naming it on live stats yet. First pitch is a ball to Riley Burke. 2 outs, top of the third. No score here. Palmer Field. In this second round action. There's the pitch way inside, nearly hit him. And it's now 2-0 to Burke. Burke struck out looking his last time up. You're going to want to put the ball in play here. It's white gloves, and he takes the strike. Norwich in their classic navy blue shirts and gray pants. Worn for a number of years. Some red lettering. Red and white lettering, rather. There's the ball down low. 3-1. And here's the pitch. There's a strike. The count is full now. To Riley Burke. The left-handed batter is the catcher, so he's a lefty batter, righty thrower. I remember it was Tino Martinez from the Yankees used to do that. There's a chopper, and the tall Power is able to get that one and toss it to first base. And that'll do it here in the top of the third inning for Norwich. We'll be back at the bottom of the third inning. Middletown coming to bat in this scoreless second round game in Connecticut American Legion baseball.
We were there when our nation called us to serve. We were there to write the original GI Bill and get it signed into law. When a community found itself in the middle of a natural disaster. When tragedy struck at a local school. For veterans who suffered from toxic exposure and needed a voice on Capitol Hill. And we're still serving as part of the American Legion. For more than 100 years, veterans have been strengthening our nation through the American Legion. Through programs that help our nation's youth become tomorrow's leaders. By keeping the spirit of our forefathers alive and well. And by helping veterans receive the benefits they earned through their service. The American Legion will be there for the next 100 years. Learn more about how we're helping in your community at legion.org.
Moving on to the bottom of the third inning, we have a pitcher's duel set up here. A lot of zeros on the scoreboard. The only number that's up there, other than a 0, is 1, and that's the hits for Middletown. So 0-0-0 for Norwich and 0-1-0 for Middletown as we move on to the bottom of the third. As Middletown will send up, Tiernan Powers, the pitcher, just made that great play a moment ago. Powers struck out his last time up. He has that wide base in his batting stance with a closed type of stance. Here's the pitch. In there for a strike on the outside part of the plate. Outfielder playing the right fielder kind of shallow. They are wooden bats, though. That's the difference. And the 0-1, fastball down low. So the 1-1 count now to Tiernan Powers, trying to get something going here for Middletown in the bottom of the third. Swing and a miss on a high fastball. That one was in his eyes. Powers chased it. And here's the windup and the pitch. That one goes in the dirt. Blocked, not that it matters, but it was blocked well by Garofalo. So the count now evens at 2 balls, 2 strikes. And there's a pop-up into right center. And the center fielder circles, circles, and circles, and Owen Clancy gets it on the run for the first out of the inning. And that's going to bring up Trudeau, Ryan Trudeau, the first baseman for Norwich. Grounded out to second his last time up. I'm sorry. Saying that's not, I'm sorry, it's Alex Mock. I'm sorry, flip it around. As that was Owen Clancy flied out to right. There's a foul ball into the left field stands. Seven batters in a row retired now by Johnson. And here's the curveball up high. Not much spin on that ball as it just floated up there. Is Alex Mock, the number 9 hitter, takes strike 2. Trying to see if I can get some stats of that game up there that happened this morning. That NCL won. It's a high pop-up into shallow left field. It looks like the left fielder calling for it, center fielder calling for it. They almost collide, but the center fielder makes the catch. Ooh, it's like the center fielder usually has priority on that one all the time. And let's see, I'm looking up the NCL stats from the game up there at Fit Field. And it looks like the hits came from the usual suspects, so to speak, from NCL, as you would call it. Gomes, Ruff, DeMarco, Gomes and Ruff and Santaniello. The heroes of the regional tournament are doing well up there now. As Flores got a double and an RBI. Gomes got a double and 3 RBIs. And Santinello was 1 for 2 with 1 RBI. And there's the pitch inside to Ryan Quinn. Sam Bedoin was the winning pitcher for NCL. There's the 1-1s in there for a strike. He pitched 4 innings, gave up 3 hits, 1 walk, struck out 8. A nice game by Sam Bedoin. There's a fly ball to center field. That should be playable by the center fielder. And that's Austin Drabinski makes the easy catch out there in center fielder. So Middletown goes down quietly here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. We're still scoreless from Palmer Field in Middletown.
When our veterans came home from serving their country, the American Legion helped them with the GI Bill to get a head start. When they came home from Vietnam, we helped those affected by Agent Orange to get care and compensation. Now, a new generation is dealing with their own challenges. Every day, 22 veterans who put their lives on the line for our country came home and took their own. As it has for over 100 years, the American Legion continues to advocate for our veterans, so when they leave service, there's a place for them to go to continue serving and, when needed, to get help.
The strength of our country hasn't just been won on the battlefield. It's won every day in our communities when we come together in our toughest times. For over 100 years, the American Legion has been strengthening communities by providing life-saving help and support to our veterans and neighbors during our nation's toughest times.
It's what the Legion's all about.
We are the American Legion, veterans strengthening America. To learn how you can help, visit legion.org.
Well, back here at Palmer Field in Middletown, Connecticut, in this second round game between Norwich and Middletown, we have a good one. Neither team has been able to score so far in this pitcher's duel. Tiernan Powers so far has given up no hits, 3 strikeouts, no walks. Elliott Johnson, on the other hand, has given up only 1 hit. He struck out only 2 batters, rather. He struck out 2 batters in his 3 innings of work. Hasn't walked anybody. So Daniel Egler will come up to bat now in the top of the 4th. And the first pitch to him is a cut on and miss, strike 1. We'll keep watching the American Legion, Connecticut American Legion baseball website. We'll be able to put up as soon as we can the games that we will broadcast tomorrow. There's a cut on and missed on a pretty curveball by Powers. It's 0-2 now to Egler. It's either going to be at Rotary Field or over in Seppa Field. And really the determining factor there is simply who has Wi-Fi service. And there's a ball down low. So it's 1-2. So we know that the Norwich Middletown winner will be playing the Tri-Count Waterford winner. And on the other side, and there's looks like a blue base hit, the first hit of the game for Norwich. As they get a leadoff runner aboard here in the top of the 4th. Well, as we said, the other game is going to be the Tri-Town Bristol winner plays the Avon RCP winner up there at Rotary Field tomorrow. So looks like there's 2 games beginning at 5:30 at Rotary Field tomorrow night. Down at Seppa Field, it'll be the Westport Madison winner playing the Newington Meriden winner at 5:30. Ryan Trudeau steps in and takes strike 1. The other semifinal in the South will be the Hamden Danbury winner against the Trumbull Wallingford winner. That game also at Seppa Field. So everything turns to Rotary and Seppa tomorrow for the quarterfinals and beyond. There's a snap throw to first. Getting back is Egler. And then the final game, the state championship game, will be played on August 8th. That's this Sunday. And there's a foul ball, check swing foul ball. All 3 state championships will take place at Seppa Field in Meriden on Sunday. That's going to be the 19U, 17U, and the 15U. We know that Middletown's 17U team won today, so they're still alive, and they'll move on to the quarterfinals. And there's another snap throw to first, and getting back is Egler. So I know that Powers really wants to keep the runner close as he has that high kick, which is quite easy to steal off if he employs it. Let's see what he does here. And he slide steps now, and there's in there for strike 3 call. Nice pretty curveball by Powers. As Powers goes to the slide step, keep Egler at bay. Coaches in American Legion baseball on the base pads all have to wear helmets. Not flapped helmets, but they still have to wear helmets out there. Look for that rule to be employed probably in the high school season pretty soon. Egler doesn't go. Here's the first pitch to Wedge, is in there for a strike. Wedge is the batter that struck out in the 2nd inning, but yet got all the way to 3rd base after a pass ball allowed him on to 1st. Powers checks the runner at 1st, and Egler, and deals curveball low. Well, congratulations to that NCL team on their victory today over New Hampshire. Nice to see the Connecticut team moving on in the winner's bracket. They'll play tomorrow night up there at Fitton Field at the College of the Holy Cross. And NCL is actually North Central Legion, which which is a combination of Windsor Locks, Windsor, Suffield, and Bloomfield. Official scorer Dave Greenleaf, also the Connecticut Commander, is up there, our district commissioner, however you want to term it. He's the head guy, the main man in Connecticut American Legion Baseball, along with a host of other volunteers who do a great, great job. 1-2 now to Wedge. The runner goes, curveball. This one's chopped foul on the third baseline. So with 1-2, perhaps they were anticipating a breaking ball and wanted Egler to take off. The Wedge steps back into batter's box after getting his signals from the third base coach, which were a lot. Throw to first, and getting back rather easily is Egler. And another throw to first. They allowed time to be called by Wedge. He steps out. And slide step fastball. This was sliced foul on the right field line. We'll do it again. 1-2. No runs, 1 hit, no errors for Norwich. 0 runs, 1 hit, no errors for Middletown up on the scoreboard. Egler straddles off. He's got about a 2.5 stride lead at first. Powers slide steps again. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. So Wedge goes down swinging for the second time today, even though he was on base once.
Second baseman number 7.
So Powers gets a big strikeout there. It brings up William Wolf III, the second baseman, who struck out his last time up. 5 strikeouts on the day, or the night so far for Powers. And a slide step pitch is low for a ball. As Egler strides off. Look for Egler to send him at some point during this at-bat with 2 outs. Cut on and missed. It's 1-1. Wolf chased that high up-and-out fastball. And here's the 1-1. The runner doesn't go. It's low for a ball. 2-1. High kick by Powers. Didn't expect the runner to go, and he didn't. There's the ball outside. It's 3-1. Egler doesn't go again. Ball's down low. Ball 4. So Wolf walks. First walk of the game issued by Powers. Runners are now at first and second base with 2 outs, and up comes Brendan Trask, who walked his first time up, was stranded at second, back in the second. So Norwich threatening to score here in the top of the 4th. Powers checks the runner at second and now deals from that big kick in there. Ooh, just missed a little up. Ball 1. Powers, the 6'1" right-hander from Xavier. Big lead at first base over there by Wolf, as that one's down low for a ball. So it's 2-0 now, and that's going to bring time out, and I'm going to go the Middletown coach to talk to Powers. Powers did come in relief yesterday, so I'm sure he had a warm-up yesterday, then come in relief. Is now there's a relief pitcher warming up down the left field line. got some action in that bullpen. And I think the Middletown coach just trying to give his pitchers in the bullpen a little bit more time to start warming up. They haven't started to throw yet. As he slowly walks off the mound. A la remembers in the old days when Jimmy Balzano would walk even slower than that on and off the mound. The legendary coach from Branford, American Legion, who went to the American Legion World Series, I think, at least 2 times when he coached Branford and their great teams through the years. Well, Powers is 2-0 now to the batter Trask. See if Trask taking all the way. And here's the pitch. He chops a chopper high, chopper towards the mound. It's towards the first baseline. It goes foul. From here, it looked like it was going towards the mound, but it was just up in the air. And it bounced foul, and Powers grabs it foul. So we'll do it again with a 2-1 count. The home plate umpire graciously picks the bat up for Trask and hands it to him. Nice little gesture by the umpire. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs here in the top of the 4th. The pitch is in there for strike 2. So there's all 2s on the board again. Powers checks the runner. Here's the pitch. There's a chopper towards the mound. Powers gets it again. Underhands it over to Machad for first. And the side is retired, and Powers escapes damage. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 2 runners left on base for Norwich. That's the 4th runner left on base here today. We're halfway through here at Palmer Field in Middletown, Connecticut. We still have no score between Norwich, the 5th seed in the North region, and Middletown, the 4th seed of the North region. We'll be back with more American Legion baseball action here on SportingNewsCT.com.
We were there when our nation called us to serve. We were there to write the original GI Bill and get it signed into law. When a community found itself in the middle of a natural disaster. When tragedy struck at a local school. For veterans who suffered from toxic exposure and needed a voice on Capitol Hill. And we're still serving as part of the American Legion. For more than 100 years, veterans have been strengthening our nation through the American Legion. Through programs that help our nation's youth become tomorrow's leaders. By keeping the spirit of our forefathers alive and well. And by helping veterans receive the benefits they earned through their service. The American Legion will be there for the next 100 years. Learn more about how we're helping in your community at legion.org.
Well, welcome back here to Palmer Field. We've got a great second round action game here between Norwich and Middletown. We're all knotted up at 0. No runs, 1 hit, no errors for Norwich. No runs, 1 hit, no errors for Middletown. As Middletown will send up to the plate now Mike Garofalo. And he grounded out to third his first time up. And there's a strike right at the knees. Good pitch. Garofalo didn't like it. He thought it was a little low. Elliott Johnson throws a curveball. And that one's in the dirt for 1-1. Johnson, as I said, only gave up 1 hit. He struck out 2 so far, but more importantly, he hasn't walked anybody. Hasn't given up any free passes. There's a cut on and missed. Swing by Garofalo to make it 1-2. On the other side, Tiernan Powers has been a strikeout king. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 strikeouts so far today. And there's the ball down low, so the count evens at 2-2. And Powers has only walked 1. So here's the 2-2 to Garofalo. There it is, called strike 3. He doesn't like it, but looked like he wasn't ready for that pitch. 3rd strikeout of the game for Johnson. And up walks Ryan Machad, first baseman. As Middletown tries to get something going here. Norwich has left 4 runners on base here today. Middletown only 1. They've only had 1 base runner. And there's a fastball on the outside part of the plate for a strike. There's a ball in the dirt. It's 1-1. There's a strike. Looked a little bit out, but you never know. 1 ball, 2 strikes now to Michaud. Curveball popped up into shallow left field. Circling it is the left fielder, and Ty Pomeroy gets it. Pomeroy, rather, for the second out. Well, ever since Ryan Quinn got on, he was the first batter of the game for Middletown in the bottom of the first. There hasn't been any base runners for Middletown since then. Colin Loria comes up. Grounded out to third his last time up. Well, here's the strike. And so far, Middletown's lifted 5 balls up in the air for easy outs. And there's a swing and a miss, a tip, but it's 0-2 now to Loria as he chokes up on that wooden bat. Curveball bounces in the dirt. Good block that time with 2 strikes by Riley Burke. As the pitcher continues to throw down there in the Middletown bullpen. Curveball, that one's chopped down to third again. 4 bouncer over to the third baseman who pads his glove. Throws it, it gets away from the first baseman. And Loria goes down to second base. As Bordeaux has played pretty good here today so far. Now throws one away. So scored that one in the E5. And that could be a big one because the runs could be much at a premium here today. Tiernan Power steps in now. The pitcher can help himself here with a base hit.
The pitcher number 5, Tiernan Power.
Outfield playing basically straight away. When I say straight away, the center fielder, you could draw a line from him to second and a mound to the plate. And there's a pop-up foul out of play towards 5 guys. Johnson looks in. And here's the pitch. Curveball almost hits him in the head. And now it's even at 1-1. Riley Burke snags that one. Johnson working from the stretch now. Glove about chin high. He kicks and deals. There's a fly ball, a pop-up rather, to the third baseman. This time Bordeaux makes the catch and the side is retired. Well, Middletown threatened. No runs, no hits, 1 error, 1 runner left on base. Only the second runner that Middletown has had so far here this evening. We're through 4 full innings here from Palmer Field in Middletown, Connecticut. The score remains Norwich 0 and Middletown 0.
The strength of our country hasn't just been won on the battlefield. It's won every day in our communities when we come together in our toughest times. For over 100 years, the American Legion has been strengthening communities by providing life-saving help and support to our veterans and neighbors during our nation's toughest times.
It's what the Legion's all about.
We are the American Legion, veterans strengthening America. To learn how you can help, visit legion.org.
When our veterans came home from serving their country, the American Legion helped them with the GI Bill to get a head start. When they came home from Vietnam, we helped those affected by Agent Orange to get care and compensation. Now, a new generation is dealing with their own challenges. Every day, 22 veterans who put their lives on the line for our country came home and took their own. As it has for over 100 years, the American Legion continues to advocate for our veterans, so when they leave service, there's a place for them to go to continue serving and, when needed, to get help.
music on the public address system, Dancing Stream. Tyrone Powers on the mound. He has bent a little bit but hasn't broke. Neither team's been able to step on the dish after passing first, second, and third. So we've got a 0-0 ball game. A pitcher's duel here from Norwich. Norwich has only gotten one hit, and Middletown has only got one hit. Leading off for Norwich is going to be the third baseman, Mason Bordeaux just made that pop-out catch to end the inning. There's a ball in the dirt. That's 1-0. Still have activity. Well, the activity has actually stopped throwing now. There's a guy up, but nobody's throwing down that left field bullpen. Here's the 1-0. There's pop-up in the infield to the second baseman, Konopka. He makes the easy catch. So 1 up, 1 down here in the top of the 5th. This pitcher's duel between Tiernan Powers and Elliott Johnson. I almost called him Tyrone Powers. That would date me. Is that one of those TCM actors? There's a swing and a miss now by Ty Pomeroy. Pomeroy's 0 for 1. He grounded out third his first time up. Number 9 hitter in the order. Here's the pitch. It's swing and a miss. It's 0-2 down to Pomeroy. As Tiernan Powers sails along. Here's the 0-2. Whoa! To the backstop. Lucky he didn't swing. Just a little inside. As it hits the bull, as they say, on Bull Durham. That'll drive you off the plate. This hits the 1-2. Here's the pitch. Fastball inside again. This one's popped foul out of play. Into the parking lot. We're actually near the ticket booth over there. Here at Middletown. Renovations a few years back here at Middletown has made it still one of the best amateur fields in the state. Here's a swing and a miss. 6th strikeout of the inning for Powers. Of the game for Powers. There's 2 outs here in the 5th. They improved this. They redid the infield a few years back.
Center fielder number 6, Austin Drabinsky.
And did some improvements outside and in. Put up some new lights. This and Muzzy, the 2 beautiful amateur baseball fields in Connecticut. There's a strike now to Drabinsky. One could argue either way. Which is the best one in Connecticut? Is it Palmer or is it Muzzy? Both have their pluses. Very few minuses. And did he go? They're saying he did. So it's 0-2 now on that low pitch. So Drabinsky has dug himself a hole at no balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Top of the 5th, no score. Between Norwich and Middletown. Powers gives that high kick and deals. That one hits the dirt. It's 1-2 on that curveball. Went about 59.5 feet. No runs, 1 hit, 1 error for Norwich. They've left 4 on base. So far, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, 2 left on base for Middletown. And here's the 1-2 pitch. There's a strike 3 called. 7th strikeout of the game for Powers. He seems to be getting stronger as the game goes on. We're stretching here at Palmer Field in Middletown. The score remains Norwich 0 and Middletown 0.
The strength of our country hasn't just been won on the battlefield. It's won every day in our communities when we come together in our toughest times. For over 100 years, the American Legion has been strengthening communities by providing life-saving help and support to our veterans and neighbors during our nation's toughest times.
It's what the Legion's all about.
We are the American Legion, veterans strengthening America. To learn how you can help, visit legion.org.
Well, there you have it. God bless America. Just played over the public address system. Here, we have a great game here at Middletown's Palmer Field with Middletown and Norwich locked in a 0-0 ball game. And still on the mound for Norwich here in the bottom of the fifth inning is Elliott Johnson. He's only given up one hit, and he struck out 3. And to lead it off here for Middletown will be the 6, 7, and 8 batters, Konopka, Powell, and Clancy. As now Johnson does his warm-ups. Well, as we said, all across Connecticut, there is 16 teams left and playing today. Waterford, who had a bye in the first round, playing Tri-County. They were the only team in the north to get a bye. There was 2 teams that had byes in the south, and that was Madison had a bye, as well as Danbury. And tomorrow, the quarterfinals will be played from South Windsor's Rotary Field. There'll be 2 games up there. They have it scheduled on the website as the first game beginning at 5:30. So I don't know if they're going to have 5:30 game, then an 8 o'clock game or something, or are they going to move them back or forward? We'll check. Just keep checking the Connecticut American Legion Baseball website for times and games that are going to be broadcast here on Sporting News CT. And here's the first pitch to Konopka. Is fouled off into the Five Guys Burgers and Fries parking lot. On deck is Tyler Powell. As Middletown tries to get something going here in the bottom of the fifth. There's the ball outside. It seems like Johnson has that fastball first pitch, curveball second pitch if he gets a strike. And here's the 1-1. Fastball lined right to the third baseman, Bordeaux. Right at him. Couldn't hit it much harder, could Konopka. But it's just baseball can be an unforgiving game in that sense. You can hit it right on the screws, as they say, and it could be an out. You can get a bloop hit. So Tyler Powell will come up with 1 out here in the bottom of the fifth. Tyler struck out looking his first time up. And here's the first pitch. It's in there for a strike on that outside corner. Home plate umpire has been pretty generous with the outside corner to left-handed batters. And here's Johnson's. Oh, here he comes. Look a little off on that one. Looked like maybe a changeup he was trying to throw to the left-handed swinging Powell. But it's 1-1. And here's the pitch. It's in there for a strike at the knees. So it's 1-2. Resetting that defense for you. Just heard it. Bordeaux still at third. Brenton Trask at short. William Wolf the third at second. Ryan Trudeau at first. There's a ground ball that may get through, and it does, to right field. A ground ball base hit for Tyler Powell. And Middletown has a runner aboard. Only the second hit of the day for Middletown hitters. And that's going to bring up Owen Clancy, who flied to right his first time up.
Center fielder number 8, Owen Clancy.
It's about a 2.5 step lead over there at first by Powell. And he slide step is in there for a strike. Not the pitch Clancy wanted. That one was a little bit up and out to his he didn't want that one. With the closed stance is Clancy. And here's the pitch. Curveball just high. So it's 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. And here's the pitch. Low for a ball. It's 2-1. The number 8 batter, Owen Clancy, only his second time up in this game. We're in the fifth. And here's the slide step fastball inside, ball 3. As the third base coach from Middletown instructs his batter to just try to zone a pitch in the area you want. Here's the 3-1. In there for a strike. So let's see if they likely not going to run the runner here as the coach is talking to one of his on-deck batters as he walks away, walks back to the third base coaching box. And the payoff pitch is sliced down the right field line. This one's going to drop out of play. He's hustling after it is Egler, but he Couldn't get that one. No activity in the Norwich bullpen, as you wouldn't think there would be. They only have 3 players, I believe, or 2 players on the bench. So we'll do it again. And another 3 balls, 2 strikes as Clancy fights the last one off. There's the payoff. Runner doesn't go. There's a line drive base hit. That's the best hit of the game. A solid base hit to left field by Owen Clancy. And now Middletown has runners at first and second. That was a frozen rope to left field. Clancy tattooed that 3-2 pitch. As Middletown gets their 3rd hit of the game. And the number 9 hitter, Alex Mock, is coming up. He flied to center his first time up. As he's having a conference with his coach. See what strategy they're thinking about. They're up on the corners. Bordeaux is even with 3rd. Trudeau even with 1st. And the middle infielder is basically a double play depth. That would be Trask and Wolf. As Mock steps in. And here's the pitch from Johnson. They swirls and looks at second. No throw and no pitch. No score, bottom of the 5th inning, but Middletown threatening here with 1 out and a runner in scoring position. Curveball in the dirt, great block, but that runner's going to go. He couldn't find it in time to hold the runners. Johnson angry with himself, but that's a wild pitch, which allows the runners to move up, and that's big because now a lot of things could happen, and that's going to bring out the Norwich head coach, Tim Petruzic, and talk to his defense here, because now Middletown could squeeze. They have a ton of ways that they can score without the benefit of a hit. 1 out, runners on 2nd and 3rd in this 0-0 ball game. A big wild pitch after 2 hits in a row by Middletown by Powell and Clancy. And now Mock is talking to his coach, and then now he sort of shakes his head a little bit as he walks towards the plate. As the conference is broken up by the home plate umpire, now let's see what they do. As Norwich has to bring the infield up on the edge of the grass, making those ground balls even tougher for their infielders. And now you can't afford any wild pitches or pass balls here. As Johnson looks in for the sign, and Mock stands there. The runner don't go, and here's the shows bunt. It's a safety squeeze, and the run's going to score. It's a great safety squeeze by Alex Mock. Scored that one a 3 unassisted, but the big thing is that Tyler Power crosses the plate with the go-ahead run. As Middletown takes a 1-0 lead on the bunt. As they say, bunts win ball games. That was a good push bunt, more of a safety squeeze there. As he pushed it out towards first base, allowing the runner to score. So now there's still a threat to score. As a runner on 3rd just takes his first strike is Ryan Quinn. So Middletown has manufactured a run after 2 straight singles. There's a foul ball into the parking lot. So it's now going to be 0-2 now to the leadoff hitter Ryan Quinn, who got 1 of the 3 hits today. And also flied out to center. So Middletown now is struck first here in this 2nd round game. Johnson kicks and deals, just misses up high. 0-2 still. 1-2 now. And here's the 1-2. Curveball up high, just misses. Runner on 3rd, straddles off. That's Owen Clancy. There's a 2-2. Slow ground ball to second. He'll have to hurry. He scoops and fires to first. He's safe, and the runner scores. So it was a nice play by Trask, but he just didn't have enough on it. And that infield single makes the score Middletown 2. and Norwich nothing. So a slow ground ball to short produces a run as Clancy steps on the plate. And now with 2 outs, Mike Garofalo is going to come up to the plate. And that was a very, very close call at first base. Let's see if Middletown runs their leadoff guy. You got to believe they would. Slide step in there for a strike with 2 outs. Johnson comes set. There's a runner. There's a base hit into left center. The runner will now travel to third as the center fielder gets it, retrieves it, and now we have runners at the corners. So a run and hit as Garofalo now gets a hit, and that sends Quinn over to third base. So the rally continues. 4 hits in this inning, 5th hit of the day for Middletown.
First baseman number 44, Ryan Michaud.
Brings up Ryan Michaud now, as the score is now 2-0 in favor of Middletown. Still, but they have runners at the corners. There is a strike call to Michaud. Michaud grounded to second his first time up, flied to left. Let's see if they run the runner off first base now in the name of Garofalo. You would think they would to try to get something going to get this third run. There's an inside, and they're saying he swung, and the umpires at first, they're asking him, but he's not saying anything. He's just standing there with his hands down. Kind of odd. As the home plate umpire gestured to him, but he didn't do anything. So I guess he's basically communicating he didn't swing silently. And here's the 1-1 pitch. That one's inside. Nearly gets away from Burke. So a single by Powell, Clancy, and then the big bunt, safety squeeze by Alex Mock after the wild pitch, which was big, as Mock produces. And then you get a base hit by Quinn and now a base hit by Garofalo. 4 hits in the inning. There's the curveball up high. It's a ball. So it's 3-1 now. To the 3 hitter in the lineup. So runs have been in a premium, but Middletown has got 2 in this inning. Here's the pitch. It's a high fly into right center, but it should be playable by Drabinski. And he makes the catch to end the inning. But the damage is done. As Middletown comes up with 2 big runs on 4 hits. There were no errors. They leave 1 runner on base. We'll be right back with the top of the 6th inning. Middletown is now taking the lead 2-0.
The strength of our country hasn't just been won on the battlefield. It's won every day in our communities when we come together in our toughest times. For over 100 years, the American Legion has been strengthening communities by providing life-saving help and support to our veterans and neighbors during our nation's toughest times.
It's what the Legion's all about.
We are the American Legion, veterans strengthening America. To learn how you can help, visit legion.org.
When our veterans came home from serving their country, the American Legion helped them with the GI Bill to get a head start. When they came home from Vietnam, we helped those affected by Agent Orange to get care and compensation. Now, a new generation is dealing with their own challenges. Every day, 22 veterans who put their lives on the line for our country came home and took their own. As it has for over 100 years, the American Legion continues to advocate for our veterans, so when they leave service, there's a place for them to go to continue serving and, when needed, to get help.
Well, back here at Middletown's Palmer Field, Middletown has taken a 2-0 lead in the bottom of the 5th inning with 4 singles in a row, including a safety squeeze to do it. Other scores around the league, Avon has upset RCP, and Avon now moves on to the quarterfinals. And they will play the winner of the Tri-Town-Bristol game up at Rotary Field tomorrow. So Avon's into the quarterfinals. as is Madison. Madison has defeated Westport by the score of 2-1. So Madison will play at Seppa Field tomorrow night against the winner of the Newington-Meriden game. So still on the mound is Tiernan Powers. As we move to the 6th inning, Norwich will have their 2, 3, 4 batters up. So no runs, 1 hit, 1 error, 4 left on base for Norwich. 2 runs on 5 hits, no errors, and 3 runners left on base for Middletown. As we'll see now if Tiernan Powers can put up a 0 on the board after his team gets him 2 runs. Norwich will try to strike back. It's only a 2-run deficit, but runs have been so scarce in this game, as it seems a very difficult thing to do here. Here's the first pitch. Is inside for ball 1. One of the big plays that happened there was that wild pitch in the last inning that allowed 2 runners to move up. There's a ball into the gap in left center. That one's hit well. It's going to be circled around by the left fielder, bobbles it, the center fielder gets it, and a stand-up leading double by Riley Burke here in the top of the 6th inning. Only the 2nd hit of the game for Norwich, but a monster one that's out there and deep into that left center gap out there. And now that brings up Daniel Egler, who's got the other base hit so far. He popped to the first baseman. Is now the first baseman seems to be crawling up as if there's going to be a bunt. Now he backs up. Down 2. I don't know if they bunt here. Powers spins around, but there's nobody there to throw it to. Is now the first baseman, Michaud, basically at the bag even as the first pitch is in there for a strike. Powell's even at 3rd. And the shortstop, Loria, is more or less bird-dogging the runner at second base. There's a cut on and miss. Tip into the catcher's mitt, so it's 2 strikes now on Egler. So Norwich threatens here with a runner in scoring position. Their 3rd of the day. Cut on and miss, strike 3. Looked like Egler wasn't really sure he was going to swing and then swung late and strikes out. 8th strikeout of the night for Powers.
First baseman number 11, Ryan Trudeau.
Ryan Trudeau steps up. He struck out and looking and then grounded to second. So they don't advance the runner, as Burke is still on second base. Stepping off the rubber now is Powers. And here's the pitch. In there for a strike. Here's the pitch. It's upstairs for a ball. And he spins, and there's no throw to second base. Man on second, the name of Riley Burke. There's 1 out here in the top of the 6th. Norwich trying to get on the scoreboard. Here's the pitch. Cut on and tipped for strike 2. And now the coach from Middletown, he's checking it. Looks like he was going to go out to the mound. Maybe he was thinking about the pitch count. He was just about ready to run out there, then stopped, and now the first baseman goes over to talk to Powers. Now the third base umpire comes down to talk to the umpire. I wonder what that's all about. That's a little unusual. You don't see that too often. You wonder what that's about, unless they're talking about where they're going to go eat at that Italian restaurant right next to the stadium here after the game. Powers looks in, gets the sign from Mike Garofalo. The runner on second. name of Riley Burke, who doubled. Slide step. There's a chopper foul. It's a late swing by Trudeau, but he stays alive. There's one out here in the top of the 6th inning. And Powers deals. Fastball sliced foul into the netting. I got to believe that Powers' pitch count is running up. The most you can throw is 105 in any American Legion baseball game. But I got to believe he's a little bit tired because he also pitched last night in relief. And there's Powers deals. Way inside, hits the batter. So a 1-2 pitch, tried to throw a curveball, and he hit the batter. And that may bring a trip by Middletown coach, and he does start to walk out there. Powers doesn't want to leave the mound. As time is called, the Middletown coach makes his slow walk out to the mound to talk to Powers. Powers had him. He's ahead 1-2. Now looks like we're going to get a pitching change. Or are we? As the pitcher down the left field line started jogging in and then stopped, and now he's going back out. So he throws his hand up in the air to say, well, gee, am I in? Am I out? We coming? We going? As they decide to leave him in. I remember many years ago coming to a state title game here where they had 6 young teenagers in the stands. When this kind of thing happened, 3 of them would stand up and yell, take him out. And then they'd sit down, and the other 3 would stand up and yell, leave him in. And they'd go back and forth, and then they'd cheer to whoever was correct. Here's the 0-0. That's up high for a ball to Jason Wedge, who struck out twice so far today, swinging. I don't know, the runner on second's got his hand way out to the right, almost like he's trying to signal something. But runner's at first and second. Powers looks at the runner twice, now kicks and deals. There's a strike. It's 1-1 now to Jason Wedge. Wedge, the number 5 hitter in the lineup. He's the designated hitter. Is now to first baseman Michaud, just takes a couple steps back. Powers now checks the runner and kicks and delivers. Swing and a miss, up high fastball that Wedge chased. And now he dug a hole at 1-2. Powers looks in for the sign. Checks the runner now at second base. That's Riley Burke. He looks at him and time is called. By Wedge. Wedge keeps digging himself a hole. He chases the high fastball. See if he throws it again. Here's the 1-2. That was down low, but it put a little extra mustard on it and struck him out. The 9th strikeout of the game for Tiernan Powers. And now there's 2 outs, and up comes William Wolf, the second baseman. He's 0 for 1 on the day, struck out and walked. As the third baseman is playing rather deep, maybe not a bad time to try to drop one down that third baseline. Runners are still at first and second, 2 outs. 2-0 Middletown. Here's the first pitch. It's in the dirt. Blocked well by Garofalo. That's a big block, as it would allow the runners to advance and have 2 in scoring position. Instead, there's only 1 in scoring position, remaining at first and second. So here's the 1-0 pitch to William Wolf III. Sliced foul into the netting. It's 1-1. Took a good cut on it, but just couldn't get the timing down right. Straddling off first is Trudeau. Straddling off second, Burke. As here's the windup in the pitch, or rather stretch. There's strike 2. Good hard fastball by Powers. It's like ever since the coach came out, Powers is putting a little extra mustard on it to try to get out of this rally. Then Norwich is trying to start. Here's the 1-2. Look for another hard fastball. There it is. That one's fouled back into the netting. As Powers takes his hat on and off and gets the ball back. As Wolf stays alive. 2-0 Middletown trying to hang on to that lead here in the 6th inning. And here it is. In the dirt, it gets away from the catcher, and that will advance the runners. So that one, I don't know if to score that one a wild pitch or a pass ball, but either way, it advances the runners to second and third. Now 2 runners in scoring position. A base hit could tie the game. The left fielder playing rather a little bit deeper than perhaps he should here. The center fielder straight away, and the right fielder with a left-handed batter playing in that normal position. Here's the 2-2. That one sliced foul as Wolf keeps battling. You cannot afford any wild pitches or pass balls now. So here's the 2-2 pitch again by Powers, who's been stellar the entire day. And here's the pitch. Swing 3 called on the outside corner. And Powers has done it for this Middletown team. He's bent but didn't break as he strikes out the side. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 2 runners left on base. That's the 6th runner left on base in this game. Tiernan Powers strikes the side out and gets out of a big jam. We'll be back at the bottom of the 6th inning after these important messages from the American Legion.
When our veterans came home from serving their country, the American Legion helped them with the GI Bill to get a head start. When they came home from Vietnam, we helped those affected by Agent Orange to get care and compensation. Now, a new generation is dealing with their own challenges. Every day, 22 veterans who put their lives on the line for our country came home and took their own. As it has for over 100 years, the American Legion continues to advocate for our veterans, so when they leave service, there's a place for them to go to continue serving and, when needed, to get help. When our veterans came home from serving their country, the American Legion helped them with the GI Bill to get a head start. When they came home from Vietnam, we helped those affected by Agent Orange to get care and compensation. Now, a new generation is dealing with their own challenges. Every day, 22 veterans who put their lives on the line for our country came home and took their own. As it has for over 100 years, the American Legion continues to advocate for our veterans, so when they leave service, there's a place for them to go to continue serving and, when needed, to get help.
Well, here we go to the bottom of the 6th inning. We have a new pitcher on the mound for Norwich. So the book is closed on Elliott Johnson, and on in relief comes number 14, Jason Hicks. And he will face the he will face the middle of the Middletown lineup. He'll face Loria Powers and Konopka, the 4, 5, and 6 batters. So for Johnson, he gave up 2 runs. He gave up 5 hits, struck out 3, walked none. But the big one was the wild pitch advanced 2 runners so Middletown could take the lead on a big a safety squeeze by Alex Mock of Middletown. So check that. Flip the scorebook over, Steve. Colin Loria will step in now to face Jason Hicks for the first time. And here's the first pitch. Is in there for strike 1. Curveball. There's a line drive down the left field line, but it's foul as it hooked foul. Loria will step back in with an attempt to put it in fair play. Another curveball is just misses up high. 0-2. Norwich fans did not like that. They thought it was strike 3. Here's the 1-2. Hicks deals. Sliced foul off the backstop. We said before, the winner of this game will play the winner of Tri-County and Waterford tomorrow night at 5:30 at Rotary Field in South Windsor in the quarterfinals. Curveball, swing and a miss. Pretty curveball by Burke, and he gets Lauria down swinging. It's going to bring up the pitcher, Tiernan Powers. Tiernan Powers has been the star of this game so far for Middletown. On the mound, as he's shut this Norwich team down with a total of 9 strikeouts, only giving up 2 hits. He takes a ball up high. Some activity in that Middletown bullpen. The pitcher is up and throwing again. He may very well see a new pitcher from Middletown in this the top of the 7th. Looking ahead to that 7th inning, when Norwich will have to get 2 runs or their season will be over. They're going to have their 7, 8, and 9 hitters. So they got their work cut out for them. And there's a slow ground ball to second base. The second baseman, Wolf, will have to hurry. He does, and snaps it to first for the second out. So Jack Konopka now is going to come up. Jack had flied to right, lined a rocket to third base last inning, but it was caught. But after that out, the rest of the batters seemed to have a lot of confidence that they could hit it hard, and they did. It's the bottom of the order that got the 2 runs for Middletown. Their 7 and 8 batters scored the runs. And there's a foul ball. And their number 9 hitter got the RBI safety squeeze. And then Quinn ends up with a big single ahead of that for an RBI to get the second run across. Curveball, it's in there for a strike. So it's 0-2 now to Jack Konopka. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Curveball, swing and a miss. This one gets away from the catcher. He can't find it. He'll have to hurry. Fires it to first, and it's in time to get him. And that's the 3rd out of the inning, unless it's winner of the Watertown Tri-County game, which was going on at Waterford High School. There's a strike 2. Fastball on the outside part of the plate. No runs, 2 hits, 1 error, 6 left on base for Norwich in this game. 2 runs, 5 hits, no errors, 3 left on base for Middletown. And here's the 0-2. It's a curveball, swing and a miss. It was a high one, but he cut on and missed at it. As there's now 1 out. And that brings up Mason Bordeaux. Bordeaux on the day is 0 for 2. He grounded back to the pitcher and popped to the second baseman. As Gilson, looking for the middle of the rubber, throws the first pitch. Ground ball to second base. Konopka gets it. Throws to first for the second out. Gilson reached for it but couldn't get it, but Konopka makes the play, and now Norwich is down to their final out of the game and their final out of their season this year. Unless they can get something going. The number 9 hitter is Ty Pomeroy, the left fielder. He's grounded to third and struck out. Gilson winds and deals. First pitch strike right in there. That's what you want to see if you're Middletown. Get ahead. Gilson is listed as coming from Middletown High School. And he graduated this year. 2021 graduate. Pomeroy steps back in and facing Gilson with the 0-1 count on him. Gilson deals. Another fastball, this one a little high for a ball. Middletown fans wanted it. Here's the 1-1 delivery. Another fastball, this one's up high. It's 2-1. Here's Norwich, tries to get around to the top of their order. They've only had 3 base runners all day. Here's the pitch. Popped up. This could do it. The catcher running for it, but it bounces right next to the fence, and he can't reach it. Garofalo made a good effort, but he just couldn't get there in time. So Pomeroy remains alive, but now it's 2 balls, 2 strikes. And Norwich is down to their final strike, in addition to their final out in the ball game. And here's the windup and the pitch. Chopper foul off of Pomeroy. So Pomeroy stays alive. We'll do it again at 2 balls, 2 strikes. And looking in is Gilson from Garofalo with the pitch call. Here's the windup and the pitch. Fastball just missed outside. It looked like the ump was ready to pump him, but he didn't. Now the count is full at 3-2. If that one missed, it didn't miss by much. Tough pitch to take. Here's the payoff pitch. Ground ball to short. Loria has it. Snaps to first high, and the runner. Did they get him on it? No, he's safe. So score that one an E on the shortstop. First error of the game for Middletown, and Norwich remains alive. And now they go to the top of the order in the name of Austin Drabinski, who's 0 for 3 on the day, grounded to second, popped the first, and struck out. But the runner on first means nothing. It's the runner at the plate now that matters as they trail by 2. Down to their last strike. Pomeroy just puts it in play and gets on base. So Gilson looks in. He slide steps, throws the first pitch. It's sliced fouled on the right field into the stands. Well, maybe a nice play by a fan who waves. Yeah, give the ball back, and he does as it bounces onto the field. Those are $8 a piece, just about, right? Gilson trying to close this one out for Middletown. He looks into Garofalo for the sign and deals. There's a strike. That one was just about as close as the other one that he called the ball. It's 0-2 now to Drabinski, almost as if the home plate umpire was making up for the failure to pump the other kid. But be that as it may, here it is. Fastball, just misses. That one had to be a little high or a little in. We don't know where, but it's now 1-2. To the leadoff hitter, Drabinski. Gilson looks at first and deals. Strike 3 called. That one's out. Drabinski doesn't like it, but now there's a pumped. And Middletown has survived. But the final score here is Middletown 2 and Norwich nothing. The story of this game was basically Tiernan Powers with a great performance today, giving up only 2 hits, struck out 9, walked 1 and hit 1. Mike, and then Brett Gilson comes in to save the game with 2 strikeouts in 4 batters to do it to end Norwich's season. So the final line score is Norwich zeros across on the runs. No runs, 2 hits, 1 error. They left 6 on base. Actually, they left 7 on base as the game ended. Middletown got 2 in the 5th, and that was it. 2 runs on 5 hits, 1 error. They left 3 on base. For Middletown, the stars of this game are Tyler Power, Owen Clancy getting on base, getting 2 straight singles in that 5th inning. And then the big safety squeeze by Alex Mock puts a runner across, and Ryan Quinn with the big RBI single gets the second one across, and that's basically what did it. So the winning pitcher this evening is Tiernan Powers, and the loser be Elliott Johnson. He actually didn't pitch that badly. He only gave up 2 runs. And he hit 5 hits, 3 strikeouts, no walks, no hit batters. So he'll take the loss, and that'll do it for the season for Norwich. So Middletown will move on to play tomorrow night in Rotary Field in South Windsor to play the winner of Tri-County and Waterford in the quarterfinals of this tournament to determine the Connecticut state champion. Well, that'll do it here from Palmer Field in Middletown, Connecticut. Stay tuned. Tomorrow, take a check out of the Connecticut American Legion Baseball website to determine where and what games will be broadcast on here on SportingNewsCT.com. We're either going to be at Rotary Field or SEPA Field, one of the two, I suppose, to do the semifinals of each, the quarterfinals, rather, of each of those single elimination tournament sections. So, again, that'll do it here from Palmer Field in Middletown, Connecticut. You see both teams out in the outfield grass with their coaches talking to them. Middletown will be able to do it again tomorrow night at Rotary Field for Norwich. Their season ends with a record of 15-9, not too shabby. So hats off to them on a successful season. But for Middletown, they'll move on to play in the quarterfinals tomorrow night. Again, that'll do it here from Middletown's Palmer Field, with the final score being Middletown 2 and Norwich 0. Good night, everybody.